What's good guys, it's TSG, and in today's video, we're just going to go through the Illuvium devlog that was just released for March, that Aaron kind of just dropped in our laps. So I'm just going to go through it. It says it's about a 9-minute read. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to try to pick out some of the key points, paraphrase it, and trying to save you guys some time. Going straight into it with the intro, they're just kind of saying how happy they are that they finally got V2 out. And this saying that us as the community, we don't really understand how complicated it is, which is obviously factual. He's also mentioning that a lot of the other projects also near completion, so it does look like everything is rolling really well and things are accelerating. He kind of says that they bit off more than they could chew, and they've kind of learned a new way from that experience to go forward, and that is use that bulldozer kind of mentality of going straight for it. But just narrowing it down on one focus so they can knock one thing out, go to the next, knock one thing out, go to the next, which I think is going to be a much more efficient way of doing things as well. And something that I'm actually really happy about is this thing here about how they say they plan to spend more time after the open beta is out to actually polish everything, like finalize everything and make sure it's a really, really good product before they even consider starting development on a new game. And I think that's really important. I think that having that one thing polished and having a good example before going to the next game is really important. So I think that is a good approach that they're going to take. Moving on into the Illuvium Arena. So the Ranked Arena now has a new name, the Ascendant Arena. And I think it's a cool name. I like the double A's, the Ascendant Arena. And again, they're saying the reason for the change is you've got the Leviathan and Survival, and they're both going to have a leaderboard, a ranking of a kind. So naming the PvP just Ranked Arena didn't really make sense, as they all have ranked. So I think Ascendant Arena, Leviathan Arena, and Survival Mode all are good names now, and it seems like everything on the kind of outside end that we look into is coming up to be a pretty polished state now, which is pretty cool to look at. So going into this first thing here, the main launch of Private Beta 1 is imminent. So we've got that leak from Kieran in his interview with Paul Barron saying within 7 days of that. So let's see how that goes. Ideally, I can't imagine it's going to keep being delayed. I really hope not. But yeah, Private Beta 1 is coming out soon. We've seen the streams from everyone else. Hopefully we have access to more streams, more content for us, more analysis. Just fun. More fun, to be honest. The next dot point is that they've almost completed all the Private Beta 2 alluvials, which is the Lynxes and the Tier 2s, Tier 0s. And that's awesome, because again, the alluvials we've seen, it doesn't, I won't say it's a small amount, but it is quite limited. So having that expanded on, again, lets us play with the idea of synergies and just different analysis and theory crafting ideas. So it'll be cool to see more alluvials out there as well. Alright, this next thing, I'm not going to lie, it's just a lot of back-end things about finding bugs, fixing bugs. It's nothing that I really am super on it with, so I'm going to skip that one. So the QA team has raised 106 bugs, and the developers have solved 141, which means that they're solving more than they're finding, which means they're kind of working backwards now. They've got the new ones, they're working on them, knocking out some of the older bugs, and it's accelerated pace, which is really good to hear. So ideally, we're just going to get through all the bugs relatively soon. The next thing, which I'm actually really excited about, and is somewhat of a little leak hint in there for those that haven't realized, Augment bonding and the new hyper mechanic will happen this month. So from what we've heard, Aaron said that he doesn't want to get the open demo, which is the private beta, to the public without augments. So if he's saying that augments are going to be done this month, it means we might be getting the open beta much sooner than we expected. Take that with a grain of salt. I'm not sure about it. They obviously changing their plans and whatnot. Yeah, we know that Aaron likes to hide a little bit the leaks in these things, so that might be something there. I might be looking way too into it, but I'm being hopeful. The cinematic renderer now works in survival mode, but isn't available for beta testers. That's the non-issue. More backend. So yeah, the next thing is more backend stuff. The next thing here about the groom and haircut system, it's cool because apparently they've got a grant system, a grant mode, which is like the highest of the highest quality. How you normally have ultra quality, you're gonna have grant mode. So if you want to see everything to like just the most highest quality possible, that is an option, as long as your PC can handle it and just doesn't blow up. But it will be cool, especially for thumbnails and like things like that. It will be really cool. And this last little bit here as well, I'm actually really excited about the whole, they finished all the art, they're almost complete with all the art for the alluvials, and they're going to start polishing, and actually they're going to go back to the original ones that were done early on, because their level has improved, their process has improved as they've moved on. So they're going to use some of that experience to go back and redo, like touch up the original ones to just level them up, which I think is a really cool thing. Moving on to the Overworld now. The first thing that they say with the Overworld is that there was some setbacks due to international events. And obviously, I think we can assume we know what that means. Just what's going on around the world. Obviously affected some people. They're saying that they're now back at near total capacity and everything's kind of going real quick. And they're saying that everything currently is at as a functional state, near functional state. A little breakdown that I really appreciated was the key word for last month was functional. This month we're aiming for polished. I think that's a very simplified and easy way for us to understand where their mind is at. So the Crimson Waste region is nearly ready. So it needs to be optimized for high level GPUs, but it's already being worked on. So essentially they're saying that the Crimson Waste is pretty much done. The biggest thing now is just optimizing it for GPUs. The next thing they've said is they've made some updates to the plants. We've just recently got those leaks of physics about the plants jiggling when you jump on them, when you walk through them. I think that's going to add so much life into the game and actual like realism, which I think is super important. So it's really cool to see that they've started that process already. UI for the HUD is in progress. Harvesting mining also nearly done. That's cool. So harvesting the plants and whatnot. So forging is functional, so that's really cool. So if you have a recipe to make a shard or whatnot, I think what that means is that you can put that together and actually come out with that item you want in your inventory. So the fact that they've got that done is amazing. Again, they go on about doubling their team to make things more efficient. Teleport beacons are now functional. I think that's the teleport thing where you can put beacons on during your loop, and you can travel to between them. I think that's what that means. And the last thing that they have in the Overworld is this encounter mode is now functional. So I think what that means is you're now able to encounter them in the Overworld, go into the battle, capture them, take them out. I know they've got plans in the future to expand on this, and he goes into this here about how you can actually see a Rampire flying away in the Overworld. But as he says here, it's going to take a colossal update. It's going to be a complete overhaul, and that's something that they're going to work on later on and just get us the base, fundamental, functional working type for the time being, which from what he's saying is now all okay. Going on to Illuvium 0, the first thing that they kind of mentioned here is that they've increased the team, so they're just working more efficiently. It seems like they're really ramping things up, trying to it looks like they've already implemented that kind of bulldozer on one focus thing, and they're kind of just trying to go as efficient as they can now. VFX completed except for optimizations. It really seems like everything through here is just small minor tweaks now. New plant assets to make it feel alive. Obviously, they're trying to make it a live, fun, kind of, it feels like a real living environment in Illuvium 0, so that makes sense. Tutorial systems, daily, weekly goals. Yeah, these are just part of the games that they're working on. Landmark systems, land tier boost. So I think what they're saying here is that they're going to get a flat percentage boost based on tiers. So the higher tier, obviously, the more efficient your land is going to be. Compared to the lower tiers. They've also mentioned a new sound engineer has implemented most of the sounds, so they're saying that he's as good as the others on Illuvium Arena, and as we all know, the sound design, the sound engineers in general for Illuvium is of a super high quality, so it is exciting. I think sound is actually something that's super slept on. People don't realize how important it is to create that ambience and feeling and kind of just getting us into that world. So having that top tier sound engineers for Illuvium 0, which is meant to be the mini game, and everything else is super, super cool. And this is something that I'm actually really excited about. They kind of say future scoping has begun, and they need our input because we birthed it in the first place. So how should we expand it? So he's got some ideas, but they're looking at expanding it. And as someone that is getting excited to get into the land, I am excited to see what ideas they have on how to expand it, what future ideas they have, and just what land is going to do in the future other than what's already being promised now. Going down, we've just got a couple of things now. Launch cinematic, no updates. Account app, no updates. The game launcher. So the game launcher, again, I kind of mentioned in the previous dev blog post. It's just a client, an exe file that is like a hub, essentially. A hub for all things Illuvium. You can access the game, the beta. You can download the updates, the Illuvidex. Everything is kind of just in one place, essentially. Like if you click on Epic Games, you have all of the games. Same thing, but for Illuvium. They're saying that they're very close to having the download portal ready, so they don't have to get the betas manually, which kind of makes sense because they want to make it as easy as easy for people to get as possible. And it looks like they say, beta in 7 days since that last interview with Kieran. It seems like it's all kind of coming together now. All right, going down into staking V2. So staking V2 deployment was smooth. There's a couple of minor UI changes, things that they needed to fix. Like I know the ILV earned daily had some bugs for a minute. I think it's all good now, but everything is cool. I think everyone was very happy when we started to get those rewards. I know when I click on that and I see my rewards go up, it's a nice feeling. So I'm glad that they finally got that out, and it seems like everyone is happy with it. Just going down into the dot points, gas fees are lower and claiming rewards are much simpler. That is true. I've actually added a stake for a video that I'm going to be doing, a video tutorial, staking tutorial. The gas fees are much lower, and also we don't need to claim things, which is awesome. We don't need to claim our rewards, so it is so much more gas efficient. Moving on, he says that he wants to start working on V3 after a small break. It is going to take a lot of work, so I think a break there in that specific area is warranted. They are looking to move to layer 2, so I'm sure that's going to come with a lot of challenges, a lot of issues. They're going to need time to really focus on it, so we don't need to be asking when. Let them do what they need to do. Obviously, layer 2 is going to be way better for gas, for everything in general. There are going to be some challenges, like they say, and there are going to be things that apparently he's perceiving that us as a community not everyone is going to like, but he's kind of just reassuring us that the positives are going to heavily outweigh the negatives, so it's not something we need to fight too hard, like to have some trust in their vision. All right, so going on to the land sale and the Illuvidex. So the first thing is that they are very close. So they're just testing some things and making sure that the security, the audits are all good. It looks like, well, he says here he's optimistic that we're going to have an announcement date soon. So I really do hope so. I'm hoping for land sale at the end of the month. I don't know if that's too soon. I don't think that's too soon. But it will be cool to kind of have land sale this month, early next month. That would be something good to look forward to. The Illuvidex is going to swallow the Illuviary. I know a lot of people are going to be so happy about this because there was a lot of confusion about the Illuvidex being the Pokédex equivalent when it wasn't. Illuvidex was the marketplace. Illuviary was the Pokédex equivalent. So now that they're smushed together, it makes sense. It's just easy for everyone. All they need to do is say Illuvidex, and then they know it means the marketplace plus the encyclopedia for alluvials. So it's really cool, and having them kind of linked together as well while you're shopping. If you want to check real quick how many have been caught, like there's just a lot of benefits to kind of putting them together. So I'm glad that they made that decision. And yeah, again, right here, they kind of just talk about more security things. They want to make sure everything is done correctly, which is obviously commendable, and I don't think anyone is going to fight and say no, we don't want security. So good on them for doing that. Going down, the new website. Yeah, the new website looks amazing. We don't need to go too deep into that. Illuvitas are about the same state as land sale, so it looks like Illuvitas are, I would assume Illuvitas is going to come a lot sooner than we think after the land sale, because it looks like everything is ready, everything's kind of prepped up. All they need to do now is just go through the land sale, get that done, and then the Illuvitas will come out next. I don't think they need to do a lot more work. Once they've got that first round with the land sale, they should have everything polished and just kind of move that across to Illuvitas. So I don't think it's going to be too much of a stretch to say it is going to come pretty soon after the land sale. Illuvitar Genesis set phase 2 has begun. So we've seen some of the leaks online already of the links. There'll be more accessories, 25 extra alluvials, billions of combinations. So yeah, I think a lot of people that really want to collect it, they're just going to go nuts. There's 3 expressions for each alluvial. So there's a lot. If you really want to 100% collect it all, god damn, like it's going to be wild. So the DAO dashboard, they were on hold, but they will start working on that this month. Now the staking V2 is out. The investment app worked to begin this month. General update, story, nothing much has changed. Everything's that they've kind of got it all already. They kind of just mentioned again that Illuvium, the main game, is not going to be a story-driven game. They've got other ideas for that. It's just kind of an introduction to the world with the lore inside of it. So you're following in that universe, but it's not a story-driven game per se. They've got other plans for that in the future. Governance, new council, yeah, shout out to the new members. Lots of IIPs, lots to come. April will be crazy. I hope so. I hope that they are busy. I hope they have things to do and IIPs to approve. Infrastructure, a lot of back-end stuff. I'm not going to pretend like I even know what any of this means. If anyone is smarter than me, let me know. But cool, they're developing back-end stuff. They're working on it. Marketing. Illuvium Insider is provided popular and allows deep connections with the community. I absolutely agree. I am so happy that they do them. It's just a good way for the community to express questions, have fun, join them and just kind of learn new things. The way that they've been doing the gameplay, the wagering, it's kind of just lifted the mood of everyone in the community. So one, it gives us more content to work around. It gives us more content to absorb and just analyze. Plus, it lifts the spirit of everyone. I think Andrew is doing an amazing job with that. And I'm really keen to see what other ideas they have in the future. They launched their first mini campaign with a staking V2, kind of just like the tutorial, this and that. And they're obviously planning on doing that for land sale, Illuvitas, and everything coming forward as well. With the production, the main thing that I see here is that the outsourced studios have begun to ramp up as well. As they understand their needs a bit better. So it looks like Illuvium is ramping up themselves, and they are pushing the outsourcing to ramp up as well to match what they need in quality and speed. So yeah, it's all, honestly, all of this is just good news. It looks like they're really, really going. It's foot on the gas now, and they're kind of just gunning for it. All right, so to summarize, like what he says here, everyone on the project is excited for the future. We can look at the investors to extend their lock period for another 3 months. It's given the community a lot of confidence in that didn't already have confidence in the team and the investors. So it's a lot more comfortable. There's a lot less fear and anxiety going on, which is really good. Watching the live gameplay, it's kind of shown us that it's a real thing. People aren't saying it's rendered anymore. I mean, if they are, they're just kind of, I don't know why they would say that anymore. Yeah, thank you to all the contributors. Yeah, we know you guys are working hard. I think this is an important thing I want to kind of put some light on. It's fun to say when, but keep in mind that many have gone a year straight without taking a break, including weekends. As much as I am thankful for those that understand delays, I equally want to implore others to realize that the core contributors do read the chat, and negativity can affect them the same as anyone else. Not as much as the lack of sleep and rest, but mental health is important too. So guys, again, I absolutely am one of those people that just talks shit. I just have fun and I just act stupid sometimes, like with saying when or is it time to panic sell? But these are jokes. If you can kind of keep that lighthearted feeling of when blah blah blah, like as a joke without being serious about it, I think it's fine. But the moment you guys get serious and just relax, like, again, have some faith. If you've invested in them, it means that you should already have some faith in what they're doing. And from the stuff that they're giving us from Illuvium Insiders, the leaks, the streams, they're obviously working. Things are coming together. Just relax a bit, because it's a lot harder doing this stuff than it is just looking in. And that comes to making these videos, that comes to developing these games. There's a lot of effort that goes into these things. And if you're not a part of it, it's very easy just to cuss people out and kind of say when. Again, the lighthearted wins, go for it. I reckon it's all for good fun. We're kind of just mucking about. Serious wins that lead into more serious kind of aggressive behavior is just unnecessary, unwarranted, and it's just stupid. Just relax. Like, honestly, just chill up. Just chill the fuck out. So anyone, yeah, the last thing that he says, I challenge anyone to find a PlayFi project. I think that's, yep. Project that has shown as much progress as Illuvium. They've eclipsed, and he just talks about how much they've worked and how they're excited to work even more, which I am a fan of. I love working. I respect anyone that loves the grind, and it shows in the results that they're giving us. But yeah, anyway, guys, I was going to try and read this way quicker than it would have been for you to read yourself, but I hope me kind of breaking it down in I hope it's a more simplified way, was beneficial to you guys. But anyway, I'm not going to take any more of your time. If you like me doing these things, like, subscribe, notification, you know what to do. I will see you guys later, and enjoy the rest of your day, yeah? Peace.